Addiction is a very, very cunning thing. And that addictive voice in our brains has many ways of trying to pull us back in, even when life seems to be going really, really well. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about in today's video. If you're new to the channel, my name's Dr. Frank. I'm the founder of Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching Programs, which are dedicated to helping people quit nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content. I remember going through my sobriety process from each of those substances and relapsing on multiple different occasions. And on this channel, I try and share with you guys reasons why I relapsed in hopes that you can avoid this. We had a community member the other day here on our Addiction Mindset channel comment that now that they've become sober, they're filled with feelings of guilt, anger, regret, and they're looking back on their life as a I think they said they're about 34 years old, 34-year-old male, saying, oh my God, I've wasted so much time. I've wasted so much time in my relationships. I've wasted away so much of my finances. I've wasted away so much of my physical health and so much of my mental health. Now, the funny thing about this individual, after having a more detailed conversation with them, is that they're doing really, really well. So they quit these substances and they are successful by all means financially. They're in a very, very healthy relationship at this point that's probably going to move towards an engagement. They have a lot of really positive things going for them. They've rebuilt those bridges that have been burned with their family members that they wanted to rebuild, and yet they're feeling full of regret. And this is one of addiction's many ways of trying to suck us back in. What this person has realized is what they are capable of. They've realized all the things that they're capable of achieving. And they're looking back and saying, oh my God, what if I didn't spend between the ages of, 18 to 34, 35 years old addicted? How much farther would have I been in my life at this point? How much farther ahead would have I been? And this is kind of a unique scenario because most people, when they're in this position, they're getting sober, they maybe haven't accomplished a lot of those things, or they're struggling in a lot of areas of their life. And they're looking back and saying, oh my gosh, look how much I messed up. Look how many things went wrong. How am I ever going to rebuild this? Now, in both groups of people, time is the biggest regret. The thing people want back the most is time. And we can never get time back. There's no way around that. But I do have good news. I promise in this conversation, I have good news. And that's the number one reason why people often quit these things, is because they don't want to give any more of their health, any more of their time, any more of their energy, any more of their motivation to a substance. That's why most people quit. What I've found in talking to different people who have struggled with addiction and people who haven't struggled with addiction, is everyone is going to face some type of hardship. Everyone's going to face some type of challenge. Some people, God forbid, might get diagnosed with a chronic illness, cancer, diabetes, something like that. Some people might go through a major loss of a family member, a spouse, a husband, a sibling. Some people might lose their job or lose their income. Some people might, who knows what it is, COVID, right? Some people, a lot of people went through and experienced COVID and all the effects of that. Some people, were watching the war in Ukraine right now, and Russia are going to have to experience war. In all of these scenarios, those people would look back and say, God, that was a horrible experience. I wish I could get that time back with that person, or that time back when I had freedom, or that time back when whatever, or when I had my health. We're all going to face something. And some people, sadly, are going to face multiple scenarios across the board like that. Just understand, maybe your challenge, maybe your burden to bear was addiction. And if you came out from it on the other side and you're doing good now, or you're on your way to rebuilding, you learned a lot of things, and you've gained a lot of tools that you can now use to other points in your life that are going to continue to help you be successful. I've heard from many celebrities, many people who are just in good places in their life, that they wouldn't have gotten to this good place if they didn't go through the SHI, right? If they didn't go through the crap. I don't swear on this channel. I swear in real life, but not on this channel. I just can't emphasize that to you guys enough. There's so many people, and I'm one of those people. I wouldn't be here on YouTube making these videos if I didn't go through everything I went through with addiction. Don't see this as a missed opportunity. View addiction as it was truly a learning opportunity. And now what matters isn't the time that you lost, it's how you use your time going forward. But don't let addiction try and suck you back in with those feelings of guilt, with those feelings of regret, because that's how it wants you to feel. It wants you to feel guilty. It wants you to feel full of shame and regret, because it knows if it can foster those feelings enough, you're maybe going to turn to that substance to cope. You're maybe going to turn back to that substance to deal with those emotions, even though it's that substance's fault that you have these feelings of guilt, regret, shame, whatever it may be. Very, very cunning. Addiction is very, very cunning. And I want you guys to be on guard for this. I want you guys to be prepared for this. And I want you to know what to do when you face these challenges so you can avoid the pitfalls that I experienced. And what's the best thing to do, guys? Just keep pushing forward. Don't look back. Looking back, you might strain your neck, okay? Follow me into the next video where I talk a little bit more about some things you can do after you quit smoking weed or quit smoking to keep that positive trajectory.